What is going on, SoFi fans? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Welcome to the $9 range. I want to go over some of the data points and put it in perspective on why SoFi, even at these prices, can be perceived as a discount. So I'm going to go over all of that. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So today it is up 4.48%. Huge amount of momentum, huge amount of volume as well. So a lot of eyes are on it. So 11.52 million shares being traded within the first 1 hour of the trading day, and a good amount of actual institutions getting in, which of course is a fairly good sign. So these are all the transactions that have occurred so far on the secondary market. One notable one, 2.53 million. And even going back and looking at yesterday, so I did do a SoFi video yesterday, didn't really touch on a lot of this because it didn't really happen at that time, but 7.31 million, 1.48 million, and 1.09 million. And these are all the transactions that have occurred on the dark pool for SoFi. So based on today, it doesn't look like there's been any transactions on the dark pool, so kind of weird. When it comes down to the dark pool though, some people don't like it because it's very much linked to shorting. So I'll give you guys a quick overview of that. So short score is currently 66, utilization is 47.9%, and shorts are returning. So this, in reality, in my opinion, who isn't a financial advisor, I see this as bullish. The fact that they are returning, even though it's as little as 40,000 shares, it still goes to show that they kind of are starting to admit defeat, because over the last little bit, when SoFi has been actually going up significantly, shorts have increased their position from roughly around 10% to the 16.02%. So they've been very doubtful about SoFi's rally, and they've lost a ton of money. 127.7 million shares overall are being shorted. And like I said at the very beginning of the video, when it comes down to it, it can be perceived as a pretty sweet discounted price. And as you can see right here, so looking at the PS ratio, their current multiple is 3.1, and versus their future 2.5. And in comparison to a lot of other fintechs and the brick and mortar kind of companies as well, looking at Upstart, for instance, their multiples is 5.2 and 5.4. So of course they've gone up quite a lot, significantly in fact. But if you do compare it to JP Morgan, it's 3.3 and 2.8. So even in comparison to both of those, SoFi is at a substantial discount. But you do get a lot of manipulation, and one of which is 𝗪𝗧𝗛𝗪. So I kind of find it comical at this stage. Even in general, 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗛 just giving horrible ratings is just, they must have some motive behind all of this randomness, because like I've signaled in the past, when it did go down to this low, so the $4.45, that was prompted largely because of good old 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗛. And it's very funny just on everything that's been happening. So they did originally have the $2.50 target. They raised it to 3, reiterated the 3, and I believe one other time. So it's this David, whatever his last name is. But the funny thing is, this analyst who has a 36% success rate, which in my opinion, I even have a substantial higher rate of success, but still, how does he have so much power supposedly over SoFi? But it seems to be that people are not really caring about 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗛 anymore. So I think they've lost a little bit more credibility, because yesterday they came out with this, and once again just reiterating their $3 target, saying that SoFi is garbage and various things like that. So kind of interesting that they've lost credibility, but still goes to show that there is manipulation behind the scenes. And as well, if you kind of look here, typically even yesterday, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it does say yesterday negative 0.2. So there is brokers out there physically paying people as well to short SoFi. So even though SoFi has gone up quite a lot over the last little bit, still there is some bigger forces that's trying to bring it down, maybe from potentially a rival, so a bigger bank. Who knows? Just throwing that out there. When it comes down to options activity today though, there is $4.54 million in call premiums being purchased versus $2.39 million in puts. So based on this, it is still anticipated to continue to trend up. And similar to what I said yesterday, it is anticipated to go around the $9.50 range. So this has all been very much calculated and all planned. And so far, looking at some of the technicals, things are looking fairly good. Even though it's gone up quite a lot, this downtrend and this consolidation right here was very good because it kind of reset a lot of the technicals. So stochastic, while it did run up, was very overbought, kind of cooled off a little bit. So right now it is at 53, a very bullish signal behind the scenes. A number of retail investors as well are just very much getting into SoFi. So welcome back to the $9 range. Hopefully we'll be seeing $10 fairly soon. And of course, in roughly around 2.5 weeks ish is SoFi's earnings. And I do feel that there's going to be a huge rally that does follow this earnings, because there's something different that's happened within Q2. And of course they've raised the APY, so incentivizing members to and people to join SoFi. And once members go up, then products go up, deposits go up. It is literally one of the most beautiful domino effects I could ever picture. And when it comes down to the banking sector, I love investing in banks. They are solid. They are a solid investment that generally what we've seen over the last little bit with SoFi is just the tip of the iceberg on potentially what they can do. So I'm very bullish on SoFi, even if it does get pulled back down into the sevens potentially. I still see this as a huge buying opportunity. And over the last little bit, what has happened is really flexed and shown investors what it can actually do. So if it ever does go back down to the $6 range, I feel everyone and their dog is just going to sell their house and put it all on SoFi. So in my opinion, might be a little bit more premature to say, I do not think that we will ever see the $5 range once again, but I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe this guy at Wedbush, so this David individual or whatever his name is, David 𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧, whatever his name, but still, maybe he is right. Who knows? I could be wrong. Let me know you guys' thoughts on all this in the comments below. Give yourself a shout out if you have been buying, selling, holding. What is your take, for instance, on SoFi? Where do you see things going, at least in the short term? And yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's make a lot of money on SoFi.